You know what's crazy? In a world overflowing with smart fridges, robotic vacuums, and one-click deliveries, it turns out Grandma may have had it right all along. That's right. Some of the simplest, most foolproof frugal household hacks, many of which have been passed down for generations, still beat modern-day solutions. And here's the best part. They're often more effective, way cheaper, and built to last. So today, we're going back to the basics. Back to a time when thriftiness wasn't a trend, it was a way of life. These are timeless grandma hacks that still work like magic today. Frugal, foolproof, and straight from the heart. Let's begin. Darning socks and extending clothing life. Back in the day, if your sock had a hole, you didn't toss it, you darned it. Using a needle, some thread, and a wooden egg, or even a light bulb to hold the shape, Grandma would sew a tight weave across the hole to make it strong again. Real-life example. In Toronto, a woman runs weekly mend circles at her local library, where people bring clothes to repair, just like her grandmother taught her. One man saved over $200 in a year just by fixing jeans and sweaters instead of replacing them. The takeaway? Mending isn't just nostalgic, it's radically frugal. Line-drying laundry, even in winter. Grandma didn't waste electricity on dryers. She used sunshine, or, in the winter, indoor racks or lines strung over the radiator. Clothes lasted longer. Electricity bills dropped. And nothing beats the scent of air-dried sheets. Pro tip: line drying even half your laundry saves a significant chunk of energy, especially in cities with high hydro rates like Vancouver or NYC. Homemade cleaning products. Grandma didn't need 6 plastic bottles labeled kitchen degreaser, bathroom scrub, or tile shine. She had vinegar, baking soda, lemon, her go-to glass cleaner, equal parts vinegar and water. For scrubbing sinks, baking soda and elbow grease. Real-life example. On TikTok, a creator gained 1.2 million followers just teaching her grandmother's homemade cleaning hacks, saving her audience money and ditching harsh chemicals. Frugal, non-toxic, and magical, reviving wilted greens with ice water. Before refrigeration was widespread, people had to know how to keep food fresh longer. One old-school trick that still works? When lettuce or herbs start wilting, dunk them in ice water for 15 minutes. They perk up like new. Try this with spinach, cilantro, kale, and more. You'll save what you'd otherwise throw out. Stale bread equals croutons, breadcrumbs, or pudding. Bread going stale? Don't toss it, transform it. Grandma made croutons in the oven with olive oil and herbs. She'd blitz dry slices into breadcrumbs. Or she'd turn stale bread into bread pudding, sweetened with cinnamon and milk. One thrifty mom in Boston told us she hasn't bought packaged breadcrumbs in 5 years because she uses this exact method. Every stale slice gets repurposed. Saving grease, or any cooking oil. Remember that little tin can of grease next to the stove? That was no accident. Grandma saved cooking oil to reuse. She'd strain it through a coffee filter and use it for eggs, potatoes, or frying pancakes. Today, even vegetarians can do similar with leftover olive oil from roasting veggies. Just refrigerate it and reuse. This tiny act can save you hundreds per year if you cook regularly. Salt for cleaning cast iron and coffee stains. Need to clean your cast iron pan? Grandma didn't use soap. She used coarse salt. Sprinkle it into the pan, add a drop of water, and scrub with a rag. Rinse, dry, done. Same goes for coffee-stained mugs. Add a pinch of salt and rub it around. It lifts brown rings instantly. The cloth over milk trick. Before refrigerators, milk was stored in ceramic jugs covered with cloth soaked in cold water. The evaporation kept milk cool longer. You don't need to do this today, but the principle remains. Cooling via evaporation can preserve perishables when the power's out or you're camping. Bonus. This also works for keeping butter or cream fresh outdoors at picnics. Reusing rinse water or pasta water. Grandma never let water go to waste. She reused rinse water from washing veggies to water plants. Saved pasta water for thickening soups or sauces. And cooled boiled egg water to use on flower beds for a calcium boost. This hack is making a comeback among eco-conscious families. And it's completely free. Reusing jars for everything. Forget Tupperware. Grandma washed and reused every glass jar that came through her kitchen. Mason jars, jam jars, pickle jars. They became soup containers, spice holders, button jars, piggy banks, or homemade candle molds. Real-life example. In rural Saskatchewan, 84-year-old Marie uses over 60 repurposed jars in her pantry, some from her own mother's preserves. That's nearly 100 years of circular living. Rags paper towels. Grandma cut up old t-shirts and worn-out towels into rags and used them over and over. Paper towels? That was a luxury. Instead, she kept a rag bag under the sink. One for greasy jobs, one for dusting, one for mirrors. Toss them in the wash and reuse. This one swap can save households $150 to $300 per year. Hemming, replacing buttons, and DIY alterations. Grandma knew how to sew, not just for making dresses, but for altering clothes to last longer. Waist too loose? She'd tuck it. Hem too long? She'd shorten it. Broken zipper? She fixed it. It's one of the most frugal skills you can learn today, and YouTube has endless tutorials. This hack alone can keep your wardrobe going strong for years longer. Soup bones and broth bags. Nothing went to waste in Grandma's kitchen. Bones, veggie pea, onion ends, and even carrot tops went into a broth bag in the freezer. Once full, she'd simmer it into a rich, nutritious broth. Chefs today call it bone broth, but Grandma just called it dinner. Lemon peels for cleaning and deodorizing. She'd throw lemon peels in the garbage disposal. Boil them in a pot with cinnamon to make the house smell amazing. Or rub them on the faucet to remove hard water stains. That lemon wedge at the bottom of your glass? Grandma would have gotten 3 uses out of it. Newspapers for cleaning windows. Forget fancy sprays. Grandma swore by this: vinegar plus water plus crumpled newspaper. It leaves glass streak-free and doesn't cost a dime. Pro tip: the ink actually helps buff away grease. Just don't use it on mirrors with fancy film coatings. Rain barrels. Before irrigation systems, water was precious. Grandma collected rainwater in barrels and used it for her garden, washing, even scrubbing the porch. Today, with water bills rising, this old hack is new again. In cities like Portland or Calgary, rain barrels are often subsidized by the city. That's savings and sustainability. Using talcum powder to untangle jewelry. Knotted necklace? Grandma didn't tug, it could break. She'd sprinkle a bit of baby powder or cornstarch on the knot, rub gently, and use a pin to separate the chain. This still works today and can rescue tangled headphones too. Homemade sachets for closets and drawers. She made little bags of dried lavender, cinnamon sticks, or cedar shavings and tucked them into drawers to keep clothes fresh and moth-free. Today, you can DIY the same with coffee filters and yarn. Frugal, natural, smells amazing. Rotation systems for food and clothing. Grandma didn't waste. She rotated pantry goods so nothing expired. Stored winter clothes properly and repaired them in spring. This simple system meant less buying, less spoilage, and more savings. Try it today. FIFO, first in, first out. It works. Brushing clothes instead of washing every time. Instead of washing after every wear, Grandma used a clothes brush to remove surface dust and hair. It made garments last longer and saved on soap and water. For suits, sweaters, or anything wool, this still works brilliantly. So, what did Grandma really teach us? She taught us that frugality isn't just about pinching pennies. It's about respecting what we have, taking care of things, using them fully, being resourceful, and never wasting a thing. These timeless hacks aren't just budget-friendly. They're rooted in love, resilience, and generations of wisdom. And in a world obsessed with fast fixes and throwaway culture, that wisdom matters now more than ever. Let us know in the comments, what's one grandma hack you still use today? And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more clever, frugal, and heartwarming tips every single week. Until next time, stay smart, stay humble, and stay a little old-fashioned.